Tengo gracias, que disculparme porque mi español no es muy bueno, y entonces vamos a hacer esta sesión en inglés. So we called this session Talento, emprendedor y corporate venturing. Otro más, ¿no? Hemos hablado, we spoke about culture, and obviously talent is what we need to drive innovation, and talent means typically entrepreneurs. What entrepreneurs love to do is to build startups, to disrupt markets. And in order to do that, they also need funds. They need venture capitals. They need corporates, like you guys in the room. So I like to introduce this to topic, showing essentially data. In my 12 years at Booking.com, we've been obsessed about using data, and I thought the best way to do that is to give you some insights, some takeaway that I want you to bring home today. So first of all, when we talked about venture capital, the first one, what you see here, and this is not travel specific, this is industry agnostic. It refers to tech companies over the 9 years between 2013 to 21. The enterprise value of tech companies has grown 10 times in 9 years. And there's no other industry, there's no other sector that has witnessed this impressive growth. So clearly, this explains why more and more venture capitals and even companies are going into startup investments. And I think I want to refer to TT2, where we're clearly probably the very focused, travel tech focused venture capital in Europe, and that explained that we definitely want to tap into this opportunity. Second takeaway, if you look at this data, the younger startups are driving even more value than what companies like the Amazon, the Booking.com, the eBay, the PayPal have created in the 90s. This is impressive. It means that startups created 5 years ago, 10 years ago, are now as valued as corporations that exist from more than 30 years. So this is why I call them young startups, and this is also our objective, to identify the young startups that will be leader in 8 years. 8 years is enough time to be able to create as much value as a company like Booking.com. Third takeaway that I want you to take away is what I call contamination effect. So when I look at this, I was like, how come? Clearly in some time frame, I can see the Booking.com, I can see Airbnb, but I was like, clearly this is happening also in travel. And why this is happening in travel is because of this contamination effect. So if I look at Booking, for instance, some of the colleagues that I had there, they left. Javi and Javier, from after Hotel Ninja, they founded Travelperk, which is one of the travel unicorn in Europe. I can call colleagues like Mathis that they went and led Get Your Guide in Germany. Also another travel unicorn, but we don't have to leave the room here. We have Tony, which is our GP, that after Booking took over ebooking.com. It's not a unicorn yet, but impressive growth, impressive financial return. So this is happening because most of us in the room have worked for different companies, right? And we are all in touch. And it reflects for me one of the lessons that Javier shared this morning, which is at the core of what we believe in TT2, is the advisory board. So it's the people that contaminates. It's the people that learn, like Susanna, from 3 different airlines. The best thing that they did, the learnings, the mistakes they did, and obviously shared this, and when they contaminate, they go out and build a new venture and clearly increase the chances of success, which is why we believe that the cornerstone of TT2 is really the advisory board. I'm not saying this because I believe in that. Probably I believe in that because I saw some data about that, speaking again about data. And I want to show you that there is something unique. Why the previous slide is, let's say, sector agnostic, there is something unique about travel. And again, explain why we are all in this room today. Travel, compared to other industry, is the sector where there is the highest percentage of investment from corporation. So this is also why within TT2, our platinum partners can also co-invest with us. And this is why we strongly rely on the advisory board, because clearly startups don't only need capital or access to funds, but they also need expertise. They also need support. And this is exactly what's happening in travel. We were discussing also this morning with Luigi. This is exactly what makes our industry unique, and again why I think we're all in this room. So before I open the panel with Suzanne and Pablo, I also want to set a little bit the stage and explain why this is clearly happening, right? Why in travel companies, successful entrepreneurs and executives and leaders participate actively in venture capital. First of all, I like to split them into different objectives. Probably the most important one is the non-financial objective, right? The leitmotif of this morning is innovation, is technology. So this is clearly an opportunity to access innovation. Whether you are a company that you're struggling and you need to go through digital transformation, or you want to embrace the latest generative AI we just saw, clearly investing through a VC or together or alongside or even directly enable you to tap into these new technologies. Second, it enables you to tap into adjacent markets, whether these are grown organically, so in-house within the company, or through M&A, but there's definitely business opportunities out there, or that big companies cannot even think about, that the young entrepreneurs can create. Second one is growth, right? Innovation drives growth. So there's definitely strategic growth. We were speaking about people, so talent is crucial, and accessing talent enable lower failure rate compared to doing everything in-house, and also give us the opportunity to get trends insight and stay basically at the forefront of travel technology. It's not just talent, but it's also new distribution channel, new products. When I look at the financial objective instead, there's two ways to look at it. First is the direct benefit, and we'll be discussing for sure with Pablo in a second. Investing in startup also has a direct benefit in my business, whether that's operational efficiency, enhanced guest experience, loyalty. Clearly, I have a direct benefit in partnering up or even investing in specific startup. And second, there's financial benefit, right? That operational efficiency drives higher margin, more profitability for my company, and hopefully interesting exit from a financial return from these investments. Benefits are not just for us in the room, but also for startups. I think I'll go a little bit quick on this one, and that's what we're going to discuss in a second. But obviously, startups need capital, they need funds, and they need what we call smart money, and you are part of the smartness of the money. And they need network and connection, and with that, they can clearly scale more rapidly and gain more market leadership. Second, they need industry experience, and again, that's what we bring to the table with my colleagues and with the advisory board, because there's no doubt that travel is a very complex industry, and you need to be mindful of regulation, you need to be mindful of the regulatory framework, of the technological integration, the complexity of integrating something that is a legacy stack with new technologies, threats, and what we can provide to these startups is clearly support, whether that's through the form of mentorship programs, whether through the form of our own experience, involving them in specific pilots, sandboxes, testing. That's obviously what we can do to increase chances of success, but also consulting them on business strategy or on sales strategy. What's the right way? What's the best way to distribute your new product into a market? And lastly, after capital and experience, our own assets. I was adding up the booking suite department at Booking.com, which was basically our own corporate venture capital. We went through different acquisitions, and what I learned in first person is that you can have the best product, you can have the most disrupting revenue management solution, but you need hotels to use it. You need contracts. You need to go and knock on the door of every single hotelier and make sure they adopt it. And the main advantage of being bought or partnering up with Booking was access to that distribution. You could immediately offer your solution to more than, well, today's probably 2 million properties, right? And it's impossible for any startup without the support of the Booking or the Amadeus of the world to be able to do that. And whether that's big data, whether that's customer feedback, maybe sometimes even security infrastructure, because these big companies like Booking are always under threat. So they clearly have a high level of standard of security that as a startup you might try to underestimate. Or whether that's the market presence, right? The access to airlines, hotel partners, your supply chain, or even your customers. So clearly this is what makes this industry unique. It's this fantastic combination of capital, startups, and corporates that will drive innovation over the next decade, and that we strongly believe will be the foundations to make DT2 successful. So with that, I want to invite Susanna and Pablo to join me and discuss a little bit more of these topics in detail. Thank you.
Travelthink is a non-profit initiative launched and managed by Dr. Javier Gonzalez-Soria in 2006, focused on new trends, innovation, and startups in the travel tech space. Thousands of professionals received the Travelthink news, where travel top leaders and entrepreneurs shared their insights and reflections.